Okay, so we've got a lot of tax credits to talk about, 9 in total. Some of them are rather involved, some of them are fairly simple. We're gonna start talking about the credit for child and dependent care expenses. If you have children that have been in daycare, you're probably already familiar with this, and you've filed taxes, you're probably already familiar with this particular tax credit, but this is one of the tax credits that was expanded and enhanced due to COVID. Then we're going to talk about this credit for the elderly or disabled, which is kind of a funny credit because not many people can really take advantage of it. It's not a real high value credit, but I guess the authors thought it was worthy enough to include in the chapter. Education credits. So oftentimes students are pretty interested in those education credits and what those entail. Foreign tax credit is another credit that we're going to talk about. So remember, we had a deduction for taxes paid to foreign countries on the Schedule A. So you had that option, but we also have this foreign tax credit. The credit is usually a more valuable, has a more valuable tax benefit to it than the deduction, but there are certain instances when you would use the deduction over the credit. But we're going to go through how that is calculated. Child tax credit. Okay, so don't get the child tax credit confused with the credit for child and dependent care expenses, even though the word child is in both, the word credit is in both. I guess the word tax isn't, but we're talking about tax, obviously. Child tax credit is another one of those credits that was enhanced for COVID. The change only took place for tax year 2021, but that means that your homework problems include the changes that were in effect during 2021. Those changes are no longer in effect. They tried to extend those changes, but Congress was having none of it, so they did not pass any extension of that. Retirement savings contributions credit is another one we're going to talk about. So that is different from any deductions for retirement contributions. This is a credit that is associated with contributions, a certain amount of contributions that individuals who meet the income thresholds can take advantage of. So we'll go through the details of that. The adoption credit. There's a credit for individuals who adopt children. And actually not just children, but if they're individuals who are disabled as well, if they are adopted. And we'll go through the rules for that. Here's the big one, earned income credit. This is probably the one that gives students the most heartburn, is this earned income credit. This is another credit. This is a big credit. It's a large, it has the potential to be a very large dollar amount, almost $7,000 at its maximum. And it was also expanded for 2021. And so we'll go through what that difference or that expansion entails. And then the last one is the premium tax credit. This is related to health insurance that is purchased on the healthcare exchange, the federal healthcare exchange, or is it healthcare.gov, and it's related to the Affordable Care Act. When we get to that part, I'll explain exactly what that is and how it works. So these are the credits that we're going to talk about in this chapter. Hopefully we can get to, I'd like to get through most of them today, hopefully. Let's see, we've got an hour and 25 minutes to do that. Just because we do have to make up for Tuesday. So hope to get through most of them today so that we can also get an early jump on chapter 10. Questions about what we're going to be doing? Okay, so